Good evening, dear students. This is Dr. Mansi this side once again. Today we will be discussing about another periodic property, that is electronegativity. Earlier we have discussed about ionization energy or ionization potential, electron affinity and all. Today we are supposed to discuss about electronegativity rather. To understand electronegativity, first what we have to understand? We have to understand bond polarity. What is bond polarity? Bond polarity actually is the sharing of electron between two atoms. How the electrons, I mean to say that we all know that when we consider a bond, it comprises of two electrons. A bond means two electrons. So how this electron will be attracted by either of the atoms, that is known by the term bond polarity. Now, bond polarity may be of two types. One is non-polar bond and other one is polar covalent bond. A non-polar covalent bond is one when the electrons are shared equally by the two different atoms between which the bond is made. These are most commonly linear molecules. Example, if we consider about two similar atoms, for example nitrogen and nitrogen, for example oxygen and oxygen, the bond in between them that occurs, that is formed, that is because of the non-polar covalent bond, because they same in nature, two nitrogen atoms, they are, what should we say, like they are having same electronegativity, that is the attraction towards the electron. So the two bonded electrons will be equally shared by both of them. Now considering a non-polar covalent, considering a polar covalent bond, it arises when the bond is formed between two different atoms. For example, hydrogen and fluorine, HF, hydrogen fluoride, the bond formed between them. In this case, fluorine has more electronegativity, so the bonded pair of electron will be slightly shifted towards, or rather more shifted towards fluorine rather than hydrogen, forming two polar covalent bond. Although it is a covalent bond but not equally shared, unequally shared electron pair, so it will be called polar covalent bond. Now coming to the term electronegativity, what does it mean, electronegativity? Electronegativity is the measure of an atom's ability to attract the shared pair of electron of a covalent bond to itself. And if atoms bonded together, as I said earlier in the earlier slide, if the atoms bonded together are of similar nature, for example nitrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, oxygen, then what will happen? They will be both having the same electronegativity and the bonded pair of electron will be shared by both of the similarly typed atoms equally, leading to non-polar covalent bond. Now, if the electrons of the bond are more attracted towards one of the atoms because it is more electronegative, the electrons will be unequally shared, and if the difference in electronegativity is quite huge, there are three things. One is polar covalent bond, one is non-polar covalent bond, and the third one, that is the extreme choice, that is ionic bond. If such that the difference in electronegativity between the two bonded atoms is much high, one is highly electronegative and the other one is not that electronegative, then the bonded pair will be, then the electron will not be shared, rather it will be attracted, it will be in full control of the most electronegative atom amongst them. In that case, it will give rise to ionic bond. Now, the scale by which electronegativity is measured. Generally, it is known by everybody that Pauling scale is the measurement of electronegativity. In 1932, Pauling was the first to propose a scale of electronegativity. And the principle on which Pauling scale is based is the difference between the measured energy of AB and that is the expected energy of AB when they form a purely covalent bond, non-polar covalent bond. I mean to say, how Pauling scale measures the difference in electronegativity, or how Pauling scale measures the electronegativity. You have to understand that it is the difference in energy level between the two bonded pair of electrons as measured, as observed, and the predicted value of the bond energy level. That is, the difference in energy, electronegativity delta E equals to E measure for the AB bond minus E expected of the AB bond when the expected bond necessarily is a non-polar covalent bond. Now, this is the pictorial diagram, this is the periodic table. We all know, here we can see the highest electronegativity is having by fluorine. Fluorine is having the highest electronegativity, and the lowest electronegativity by the purple color is because of of cesium. Cesium. So, from this picture we can understand in the periodic table the most electronegative element is fluorine and the least electronegative element is cesium. These are the electronegativity values of some elements present in periodic table, where we can see fluorine being the highest, having value 4, then it's chlorine 3, then oxygen 3.5, nitrogen 3, and so on, and finally it comes down to cesium, which is the least electronegative element in the periodic table, having the value of 0.7. This calculation is based on the bond dissociation energy. Now, coming to the trend of variation of the electronegativity in periodic table. Looking across a period, you can see that electronegativity increases from left to right. Electronegativity increases from left to right. Left, there is, in the second group there is lithium, and in the right there is fluorine. So, in periodic table, electronegativity along a period increases from left to right, and looking down a group, it decreases from top to bottom. That is, it increases from bottom to top. It increases from bottom to top, and that is why cesium is the least electronegative element. This is the trend. What we have said, what we have discussed right now, it has been depicted like this. Electronegativity increases from left to right and decreases from top to bottom. Now, calculation of bond energy. How to calculate? We said that the Pauling scale calculates the bond energy between two purely covalent atoms and takes the energy difference between them as measured and as predicted. The difference in energy is depicted by the electronegativity, by the term electronegativity, or the by measured that is measured by the term electronegativity. So, delta E, delta means the difference in electronegativity, the difference in bond energy between two purely covalently bonded atoms is a measure of electronegativity. Which difference? The difference in actual value of the bond energy and the bond energy predicted. Now, this bond energy, how to calculate the bond energy? If two atoms A and B have the same electronegativity value, then the molecules AB is bonded by purely covalent bond, as we have discussed at the beginning of this presentation. Then energy of AB covalent bond would be the mean of energy of A2 and B2 molecules. That is, EAB equals to EAA plus EBB by 2. Average we are taking. 2 AA atoms when bonded, the bond energy of them, and 2 BB atoms when are bonded, the bond energy of them divided by 2, that is the average, gives you the bond energy calculation. For for non-polar covalent bond, that is purely covalent bond, this delta E comes to 0. Now, if two atoms A and B are of having different electronegativity, earlier what we talked about, this calculation is all about the calculation of bond energy for purely covalent bond. That is when the two associated atoms are having same electronegativity and the electron pair is equally shared by both the atoms. Now, coming to such a molecule which are having two different atoms bonded together. For example, A and B are two different electronegative elements which form a bond between them and form a molecule AB. The bond AB will no longer be purely covalent because they are differing in their electronegativity, and the one which is having more electronegativity will be dragging the bonded pair of electron towards itself. So, the electron pair will be shifted somehow to that atom which is having higher electronegativity. So, the bond AB will no longer be purely covalent bond and energy would be greater than the mean of energy A2 and B2 molecule. That is, the bond energy EAB is greater than EAA and EBB by 2, that is delta E greater than 0. This excess bond energy delta E is known as ionic covalent resonance energy. I repeat, this extra energy delta E greater than 0, it is not equal to 0, and how much it is greater than 0, that extra energy, bond energy, is known as ionic covalent resonance energy. Then coming to Mulliken scale, R.S. Mulliken proposed electronegativity scale once again, and in which the Mulliken electronegativity Xm is calculated to the electron affinity. We have discussed electron affinity in our earlier lectures, that is a measure of the tendency of an atom to form a negative species, and ionization potential, that is the measure of the tendency of an atom to form a positive species, by the equation Xm, that is Mulliken scale of measuring electronegativity, is equal to the summation of ionization energy and electron affinity by 2, that is the average of ionization energy and electron affinity. So, Mulliken scale of electronegativity measurement gives the average value of the bond energy, of the ionization energy and electron affinity. Now, how to understand whether a bond will be an ionic bond or a covalent bond? To understand which type of bond it will form, that depends on the characteristics of the electronegativity of the two bonded atoms. If the two bonded atoms are having same electronegativity, then definitely it will be non-polar covalent bond. If they are slightly differing in electronegativity, then it will be polar covalent bond, and if they are hugely differing in their electronegativity, then obviously it will be ionic bond. I already said that elements with a high electronegativity have a strong pull towards electron, and that's what is depicted by this picture. You can see the obese person represents fluorine, which is having higher electronegativity, and the thinner one represents carbon, which is having lesser electronegativity. So, obviously the ball, that is the electron pair, that will be shifted or dragged more towards fluorine, since it is having higher electronegativity. Elements with a low electronegativity have a weak pull on electrons. Now, when two atoms form a bond, their difference in electronegativity determine the bond type. Many a times I told in this lecture that the bond type is determined by the electronegativity of the two associated atoms which are bonded together. The picture also depicts the same thing. Obviously, this will be an ionic bond, this will no longer be a covalent bond or polar covalent bond, this will clearly be an ionic bond, since the obese person, which shows having high electronegativity, will be dragging strongly rather than the thin and lean person, and naturally the electron pair, that is the that the knot represents here, the rope represents the bond and the knot represents the electron pair, that will be shifted more towards the obese person, that is more electronegative atom. Obviously, this would be an ionic bond. And if we consider this picture, where equal number of people in the left hand side and equal number of people in the right hand side, and both the sides are dragging the electron pair equally to their side, it will give rise to a covalent bond. That means they are having the same amount of electronegativity. And that is all I had to say about this lecture on electronegativity. Thank you so much.